Hi, cindyjo57. It's been a while since I've done a video, and I'm going to do one today for you. This is going to be a video about homemade pasta, and this is going to be my first shot at it. I took it in a cooking class. Now I bought myself a pasta maker. I'm going to check it out. Anyways, it is a spinach and mushroom ravioli with a brown butter and sage topping, sauce, whatever. Anyways, this should be interesting, and here we go. What we've got here is 2 cups of flour, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and 1 teaspoon of salt. And then I mixed it all around, and then it calls for 3 eggs. And I don't know if I need to, but I've got them at room temperature. I think I'm just going to do, no, I'm going to do 2. Because they're large eggs, I'm not sure I need 3. I think that looks a little better. Yeah. Feels like it's sticking together. I mean, it doesn't necessarily look like it is. It's kind of, you know, all crumbly. But then when you compress it, it sticks together. So, what we're going to do is dump this whole bit out. Make sure you get all the bits. Okay. Then just kind of there, see, it's coming together. Pick up all the little bits, work them in. Okay, then we're going to flatten it out. And I think I'm just going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil so it doesn't dry out, even though we're going to wrap it and let it rest for 20 minutes. And then we will carry on with the next important step, the fun. Let the fun begin. What I've got here is a bag of mushrooms. I didn't measure them. It's not much. It's a lot. But I'm going to make a lot, and I'm going to freeze it. So, let's see if that many will fit in there. This is the handiest little gadget I ever bought. It was not expensive. Bought it at Walmart. And it's great for chopping onions, and no, it's not going to work too many in here. There we go. Okay. That's just really fine. So I'm just going to pour that right into the frying pan and then cut up the rest of these. Okay, that's got it. So now we want to fry these mushrooms up until there's no moisture left in them. So I'm just going to let that cook away. I'm going to put the spinach in here. Now, I got organic baby spinach, and I don't think I need to wash it. It looks pretty clean. Besides, a little dirt won't hurt anybody. Oops, I'll put that in first, I guess. Yeah. The spinach will be fried as well, but I'm going to do the mushrooms first. And then all you do is add a little salt and pepper. And you're good to go. I've got it on high. Doesn't seem to be a lot of moisture coming out of the mushrooms, not like when they're whole. But we'll keep cooking that a little bit longer. I'm not the cleanest cook there is. I'll just get her done. Okay. A little bit longer. I'll get a bowl to put that in so we can cook our spinach. And I didn't put any oil or anything in here, so you'll know when it's ready, because when you squish it down, there'll be no moisture coming out of it, and they kind of start to stick to the pan. So I know that that is done. So let me get that off there. Get all that goodies out of there. And again, you want this really fine because you don't want it piercing holes in the ravioli, because it's really quite thin by the time we're finished doing what we're doing. So I'm going with 1/4 teaspoon. And I like fresh ground pepper. That'd be enough, you think? Oops. And the spinach doesn't seem to be putting out much moisture. So we're going to keep going a little bit longer. Turn this down a little bit more to medium high, whereas the mushrooms I put on high. That big container of spinach sure cooks down a lot, doesn't it? Oh, there's still moisture in there, so I'm going to cook that a little bit longer. Then I'm just going to add it to the mushrooms, and then we got to wait for the pasta to finish resting, and then let the magic begin. Okay guys, the dough has rested. And I forgot to add some freshly grated Parmesan cheese in here. It says a tablespoon. Because I use so much mushrooms, I added 1/4 cup. But you can never go wrong with Parmesan cheese, right? And I actually put a little bit of garlic powder in there as well. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cut this in 4. Take one out. Cover the rest back up so it doesn't dry out. And, one thing that I was told is if you are going to buy a pasta maker, don't ever wash it. Because flour and water makes what? Glue. Okay, so what you want to do is take a little sprinkle of flour and put it here between the rollers. And that should be good. Okay, so here we go. Let's see if I've got this machine set up the right way. I put down some, what they call peel and stick. I'm not usually one to promote things, but oh my God. Press and seal. It sticks to anything. Like this bowl doesn't have to be glass or metal, it can be plastic. It's great. Get in there. So that's what I set down here. That's better. That's better. That's better. So they got the numbers backwards, I think, on this one. I don't know. This does not look like it did in our cooking class. Okay, so then you're supposed to change one number and go again. And because we're going to go through 6 times, and the reason we're doing that is because it's 2 layers, right? So if you were making pasta, I would just go the 5 times. You're going to go through, I think, one more time if I counted right. It doesn't seem quite thin enough yet. Okay. I'm not sure that I made my strips wide enough, but my table's moving too. There, okay. Now, what we're going to do, spread it all out. It's tougher than I thought. You know what I mean? It's not as delicate. I'm just comparing it to making pies. So you're going to go halfway, and I'm going to lay the thicker side on the bottom. So, about right. And then I'm going to flip this over. pinch it just so I know where halfway is. And then what we're going to do, let me see, how did we do this now? I think we're going to do the egg wash first. Yes. So, just one egg, beaten up. A pastry brush. So you're just going to do the half of it, because the other part will just lay on top. Now you can make whatever you like for stuffing. We had pumpkin and feta, and we had chicken and garlic. So anything works. It's time consuming, but oh my God, there is nothing better than fresh pasta. And if you can make it at home rather than paying the big bucks to go out for dinner, why not? So here we are. I have to practice this because I'm making this for my family at Christmas. Okay, and I think we can fit in one more. Okay, now I'm going to take this and lay it. See, this top strip is kind of narrow. So, we'll figure something out. Somehow, we'll piece this together. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8. I'm going to start at this end, I think. And what we do is you start by kind of going in the middle and pressing it out to the edges. You don't want any bubbles. Okay, now I'm going to go with the little wheelie. Try and make it look prettier. Okay, now I take this. This is what semolina looks like. It kind of looks like really fine cornmeal. In fact, you could use cornmeal instead. So just a little bit of a sprinkle. Probably can't see that on camera, but you get the idea. And then take your new raviolis and add them to the batch. Oops, see, that one's not sealed. Oh, just add a little band-aid. So that's, I don't know, 24 out of a batch. Oh, 24, 5, 6, 27 out of a batch of pasta. Oh, that's too long there. And then you just boil in boiling salted water. I don't use salt, but most people do. And then, like I say, just throw your butter in a frying pan, throw the sage in there, and just heat her up. You'll know the butter just changes all of a sudden. And it's brown, it's cooked, it's ready, take it off the heat, and then just toss your ravioli in the brown butter sauce, and you can add some more Parmesan cheese, or what is it? Reggiano. That's actually what I used. So, and with a nice salad or something, you got yourself a lovely meal. I'm just going to finish up these 3, and decide whether I'm going to cook it tonight, because I'm having company tomorrow, and I don't know whether to leave it in this state or freeze it or cook it. I might just cook it, because I'm worried that they're going to get all dried out in the fridge, you know, even if they're in that covered thing. So yeah, maybe I'll just cook it, because I had leftovers, like from the cooking class. We got to take what was left over, and it was delicious, just microwaved. So that way I don't have as much fussing to do around mealtime, you know, if I cook it tonight. Oops, see, there's another piece. Okay. Three more. Alright, so I think for my first time I learned some things, but I believe this to be a success. Now, you can't taste it, but maybe we'll get some feedback from my company tomorrow and see what they think. So that's how much a batch made. So that's, I mean, if you were only eating that for 2 big eaters, it would be plenty. But more likely, it's 4 good portions. You know, if you're going to have a salad with it or whatever, it would be good. So, that's that.